what I'm excited about this demo, is that you show, essentially, we talked about you can make a widget or something so that it could be implemented.
It should be very easy for any site to implement this once we go live, because really all that the site has to do is to be able to receive the bearer tokens, which, as John described, are just like 32 bytes. The key to unlock the bearer tokens. That's all they need to receive in order to obtain the Geeq coin.
And the transaction's about 100 bytes.
Right. So they need to get you need to have the information be transferred from the wallet, which is your Chrome extension. That needs to be sent to the site. Then all the site needs to do to process that is to create a transaction to send to the Geeq chain in order to cash that in, if you will. So it's a very simple, it's a very small amount of code to actually write in order to allow the sites to be able to do that.
So if I were to create a site, it would be, I would go to a store and download this little bit of code.
Yeah, so that's right. So there'll be some way, let's say if you had a WordPress site, I imagine that someone would be able to create a WordPress extension pretty easily and embed that in your WordPress site. So as Eric was saying, if you're an author or you just have a bunch of articles that you want to write, you could receive micropayments through your WordPress site.
So really operationally, it shouldn't be much more complicated than like a PayPal pay button. A Geeq Pay button is similar. You have, all you're doing is you're pushing a button that accesses code that communicates with APIs at PayPal, and in this case you're pushing the button that communicates with the Chrome extension that's already in your browser
And your wallet.
Right, and one key difference is that you don't need the approval of PayPal to do it.
That's right.
You just simply need to be able to interact with APIs, and anybody with that code would be able to receive.
So you're going to
And
slap it on top.
Could you even make it a non-fixed price? Could I say, read my book and pay me whatever you thought it was worth?
Oh, yes. You could certainly donate.
Yeah, like I'll give access to my book to all of you, and you can say, it was a waste of time, or it was, the greatest work in the English language ever.
We will pay you to stop writing.
And you can
Ransomware.
And you can also do streaming payments. If I'm wanting to play a game, or if I'm wanting have access to a database for a period of time, I can just tell my wallet to give 10 cents a minute if it's an expensive database, or 1 cent every 5 minutes if it's a game, and until I say stop or I leave the site or some other signal, you just continue to pay. You watch the movie, you play the game, you do whatever. There's Mr. Plumber, he sits here in a chair and I want 5 minutes of advice. I can turn on Mr. Plumber and I can feed him some amount of money for however long I need to talk to him. And if I'm really incompetent, I bring my phone and I have him look at my sink. There's all kinds of ways you could do it, and I need him as long as I need him, and he doesn't have to make the trip.
And now you don't need to pay in $10 chunks.
That's right.
It's kind of the minimum that you would need to make sense.
Or it could be telemedicine, or it could be...
I would say, you could get a cardiologist in Armenia as well. Charges less.
But it doesn't even have to be in Armenia. If I see something wrong, what is this thing growing in my yard? You name it.
Or on my arm.
Right. No, actually, that's right, on your arm.
That's your wife.
But it allows people to sort of scale themselves. If I have to have a doctor's office, or I have to get in my van and come to you and see what you got, that's a big fixed cost. But if I can just get 5 minutes of advice or 10 minutes of advice, that's a way that I, as a plumber, an electrician, a doctor, can use my skills much more efficiently.
That's interesting, because we talk about the frictionless payments, but that removes a lot of friction of transportation costs, right, and mobility
And it's
issues.
ecological.
And so if I'm a person who is not able to get around very much,
Good point.
but
Yes.
I could still provide services.
Excellent point. Yes, I hadn't thought of that.
And then if I'm in a car and it's driving itself, I could still be working, right? These things just depend on the connectivity.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Back to an integration with telecom.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, telecom could be a huge partner.
So again, if you build it, they will come, right? It says law.